Welcome back to our channel, English Avenue. If your heart is heavy, if your mind keeps going back to the past, if you're tired of feeling like you're not moving forward, then this video is for you. Because sometimes it's not a person or the world that's holding us back. It's yesterday. A memory, a mistake, a regret, a heartbreak, a failure, a voice that whispers, "You're not good enough anymore." But listen, you don't live in the past. You live here. You live now. And from this moment, you have the power to start again. In this video, I will take you through 9 emotional, powerful, and life-changing lessons to help you heal from your past, rebuild your confidence, protect your energy, train your brain to move forward, and design a new life with peace, power, and purpose. This is not just another motivational video. This is a message from one broken soul to another, telling you that you can rise again. No matter what you've been through, no matter how much you've lost, you still have something the past doesn't have. Today. Before we begin the first lesson, remember this. Every word you hear today will not only heal your heart, but also improve your English. You'll learn new phrases, emotional expressions, and real-life sentences while understanding life deeply. So, if you want to grow in English and in life, make sure to subscribe right now. And let's start with our first lesson. Let go of yesterday. Lesson 1. Let go of yesterday. Let's begin with the hardest part and also the most important part, letting go. Because as long as you keep holding on to what broke you, you will never have the hands free to build what can heal you. It doesn't mean you forget. It doesn't mean what happened was okay. It doesn't mean you're weak or fake for moving on. Letting go means you're choosing peace over pain. You're choosing growth over guilt. You're choosing life over looping thoughts. Because here's the truth. Your mind can become a time machine, and it will take you back again and again and again unless you learn to break that loop. Letting go means you stop bleeding from a wound that no longer needs your attention. It means you don't scratch the scar anymore. You protect it. You let it become part of your story, not your identity. Letting go is not easy, and I want to be honest about that. We hold on to the past because it gave us comfort, even if it hurt. It gave us a sense of identity. I'm the one who was betrayed. Or it gave us a story. I failed once, so I'm a failure forever. Sometimes we feel we're protecting the pain. If I let go, they win. Sometimes we're scared that without that pain, we are nothing. But listen to this carefully. You are not the pain. You are the person who survived it. Let me tell you a simple story. There was once a traveler who wanted to climb a high mountain. He carried a big backpack full of things, old letters, broken souvenirs, heavy rocks from his past. He thought he needed all of it. But the higher he went, the heavier it became. He started to slow down. He couldn't breathe. He almost gave up. Then a wise man saw him and said, "You're not tired because of the mountain. You're tired because of what you're carrying." The traveler cried. He started dropping one item after another. He let go of the rocks, the letters, the weight. And for the first time, he felt light. The mountain didn't change. He changed by letting go. That's your life too. You're not weak. You're just carrying too much yesterday on your back. Repeat this to yourself. I am not what happened to me. I am not my mistake. I am not that heartbreak. I am not my failure. I am still here, and I choose peace now. Because peace doesn't come when you finally understand the past. Peace comes when you decide you no longer need to understand it. When you start letting go, little by little, your chest will feel lighter. Your thoughts will get clearer. You'll stop replaying the same scene in your mind. You'll begin to sleep better. You'll start making space for new dreams, new people, and new peace. Letting go is not one moment. It's a daily decision. It's telling yourself, I may not be who I used to be, but I am learning who I can still become. Don't cry for yesterday. Thank it because it taught you something. And now, let it go. Don't let yesterday steal one more minute of your life. Your future is still waiting. But it can't knock on the door if you keep staring at the one that already closed. Let it go. Lesson 2. Rebuild confidence after pain. There is a silent moment that happens in every broken person's life. A moment where they look at themselves in the mirror and whisper, I don't even know who I am anymore. If you've ever felt like that, if your confidence has been shattered by failure, heartbreak, betrayal, guilt, loss, or rejection, this lesson is for you. Because I want to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. You can rebuild, and you will not be the same person you used to be, but someone even stronger, smarter, wiser, and more powerful. Let's be honest, pain doesn't just hurt us, it changes us. When someone breaks your trust, when you fail again and again, when people laugh at your dreams, when you give your best and still lose, you start questioning everything. Am I even good enough? Maybe I'm not smart like others. What if I try again and fail again? I don't trust myself anymore. Confidence breaks silently, not in a scream, but in quiet moments of doubt. And the problem is, when confidence breaks, you stop trying. You stop speaking up. You stop showing the world your real potential. But the world hasn't seen your final version yet. You are not done. Let's first clear one myth. Confidence is not loud. It's not ego. It's not faking strength. Real confidence is quiet self-respect, trusting your ability to handle things, being okay with not knowing everything, getting back up even after being crushed, and saying, yes, I'm scared, but I'll still try. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about feeling safe inside yourself, no matter what happens outside. Start with small promises to yourself. Forget big goals right now. Just wake up and do one small thing you said you'd do. Drink water in the morning. Walk for 5 minutes. Clean one corner of your room. Speak one sentence in English out loud. Why? Because every time you keep a promise, your brain says, maybe I can trust myself again. Confidence starts with trust, not in others, but in you. Remove the mirror of comparison. One reason you feel broken is because you keep measuring yourself against your old self, other people, or perfect versions on social media. But listen carefully. You're comparing your pain to their highlight reel. You're comparing your failure to someone's lucky moment. You're comparing your messy healing to someone's fake smile. That's not fair. Stop that mirror. The only person you need to compete with is yesterday's you. Speak to yourself like you matter. Your inner voice becomes your outer world. If you keep saying, I'm dumb, I can't learn, I'm a loser, then you are building a prison with your own words. Instead, try this. I'm learning. I'm getting better. I survived. That means I'm strong. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. Speak to yourself like someone who deserves love, because you do. Celebrate every tiny victory. Did you speak one English sentence today? Clap for yourself. Did you show up even when you were tired? That's brave. Did you say no to a toxic thought? That's powerful. When you celebrate small wins, your brain says, I'm not failing, I'm growing. Confidence is not built by big moments. It's built by tiny choices every day, stacked on top of each other like bricks. Use your pain as a superpower. This is the most powerful step. Instead of hiding your pain, own it. Use it. Transform it. Say, yes, I was heartbroken, and I learned about real love. Yes, I failed, and now I know what not to do. Yes, I was rejected, and I still chose to rise. Pain doesn't make you weak. It gives you X-ray vision. You now see what others don't. You feel deeper, you think clearer, you love harder, and you rise stronger. Confidence after pain is unshakable because you've already seen the worst. Now you're not scared anymore. Example: there was a girl in college. She failed her English oral exam because she froze. Everyone laughed. She cried. For 2 weeks, she didn't go back to class. But then she did one thing. She stood in front of the mirror every morning and said, "I will speak again. I'm not a failure. I'm learning." Every day, she learned one sentence. Not 100, just one. She spoke slowly, softly. Then one day, she stood up again in class. She spoke with fear in her voice, but power in her eyes. She passed. Not just the exam. She passed the wall of fear and built her confidence again, one sentence at a time. You are not broken. You are rebuilding. You are not behind. You are recovering. You are not weak. You are rewiring. You are not lost. You are relearning how to trust your own feet. It will take time. But every step you take back into yourself is a step toward a new future. Don't rush it. Don't fake it. Don't try to be perfect. Just keep building. One brick of courage, one word of kindness, one step of effort, and one day you will stand tall again. Not as the person who never fell, but as the one who rose again when no one thought they could. That's real confidence. That's you. Lesson 3. Protect your energy and stay strong. There is a moment in your healing journey when you realize it's not just the past that hurts you. It's what you allow in your present that keeps wounding you again and again. You may be doing your best to move on, to rebuild your confidence, and to let go of the pain. But if you keep surrounding yourself with toxic people, draining conversations, negative environments, and painful reminders, you are trying to heal inside a battlefield. That's why this lesson is not just advice, it's your survival strategy. Let's learn how to protect the most precious thing you have left, your energy. Most people talk about motivation, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Energy is deeper. Energy is your mental space, emotional health, inner peace, focus, self-worth, and the will to try again. And you know what steals energy the fastest? Not failure, not hard work, but people, thoughts, and habits that drain you slowly. Let's call them emotional thieves. Here are the 5 biggest ones. Overthinking the past. Replaying the same scene again and again. What if I had done that? Why did they do this to me? The past already hurt you once. Stop letting it hurt you 100 more times in your mind. Toxic people around you. These are the people who always talk negatively, laugh at your dreams, gossip and judge, blame you for everything, and call you too emotional when you express pain. You don't need to hate them, but you do need to protect yourself. Trying to please everyone. You say yes when you want to say no. You hide your real feelings. You work harder just to be accepted. But every time you do that, you lose a small piece of yourself. The more you please everyone, the more you disappear. Scrolling without purpose. Hours go by. You're not learning. You're not healing. You're just comparing yourself to others, and by the end, you feel tired, ugly, useless, and lost. That's not entertainment. That's emotional poison. Fighting battles that are not yours. You try to fix everyone. You carry the weight of your family, friends, or partner. You solve their mess, sacrifice your peace, and destroy your own mental health. Help when you can, but don't lose yourself while saving others. Let's now build a shield around your soul. Give yourself permission to protect your peace. You don't owe anyone access to your mind, your time, or your emotions. Just because someone is in your life doesn't mean they get to live inside your thoughts. Say this out loud. I protect my peace. I control my energy. I decide what I allow. You're not rude. You're not selfish. You're healing, and that's sacred. Set invisible boundaries. You don't always need to block or cut people off. Sometimes protecting your energy is saying less, responding slower, staying quiet during drama, smiling but keeping your distance, and loving people from far away. You're not punishing them, you're respecting yourself. Start doing energy check-ins daily. Every night, ask yourself, who gave me peace today? Who drained me? What thoughts helped me heal? What thoughts pulled me down? Then decide, I will give more energy to what gives me life, and take away energy from what takes away my light. Be okay with being misunderstood. When you protect your energy, some people will call you distant. Some will say you've changed. Some will guilt trip you. Some will act like victims. Let them. The old version of you gave too much. The new version protects what's left. Stay strong. You don't need to explain your boundaries to people who never respected them in the first place. Create a safe zone for yourself. Have a place, a habit, or a routine where you recharge daily. A 10-minute walk without your phone, listening to calming music, speaking one sentence of English in the mirror, writing your thoughts down, drinking water, sitting in silence, or saying 3 things you're grateful for. Your safe zone is where you remember, I'm not lost, I'm learning, I'm healing, I'm enough. There was a man who always argued to defend himself. Every insult he fought back. Every judgment he explained. Every guilt trip he apologized for things he didn't do. One day he stopped. He started smiling and walking away. He said nothing. He gave no reaction. And slowly he got his peace back, because he realized you don't need to win every battle. You just need to win back your energy. You are not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you keep giving energy to what doesn't deserve you. Now is the time to change that. From today, you don't chase people. You don't beg for attention. You don't explain your value. You don't fight battles that drain your soul. From today, you protect your energy. You protect your growth. You protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. Lesson 4. Train your brain to stop living in the past. You may have already left the situation. The breakup is over. The job is gone. The person is no longer with you. The moment has passed, but somehow the pain is still fresh. The memory still controls you. You're brushing your teeth, and suddenly the past hits you like a storm. You're trying to enjoy your evening, and boom, a painful flashback ruins it. Why? Because even though your body left the past, your brain stayed behind. And unless you train your brain to come back into the present, you will stay trapped in a loop that steals your energy, time, and happiness. Let's now break that loop. Your brain is not your enemy. It's just trying to protect you. It replays the past because it wants to make sense of what happened. It wants to avoid getting hurt again. It wants to learn a lesson. Or sometimes it just wants to punish you again and again because of guilt. But here's the problem. The brain is not a healer, it's a recorder. It keeps repeating what it remembers, not because it's right, but because it's familiar. That's why healing doesn't begin with motivation. Healing begins with retraining the brain. Let's now learn how. Name the loop when it starts. Every time your mind suddenly jumps into the past, stop and say, "This is a thought, not reality. This already happened. It's not happening now." Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between memory and real life. That's why your body reacts to past pain like it's happening right now. But when you label it as just a thought, not a fact, you break the automatic emotional reaction. Use this simple grounding technique. Here's a powerful brain exercise anyone can do, even English beginners. The next time you're lost in the past, do this. Look around and say, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you're thankful for. It sounds simple, but it pulls your brain back into the present moment. Your brain cannot focus on pain and peace at the same time, so when you give it peace, the pain starts to fade. Change the language you use about the past. Stop saying, "I ruined my life. I was stupid. I can never forgive myself. They destroyed me." Start saying, "I didn't know better then, but I do now. I was not stupid. I was emotional, honest, and learning. They hurt me, yes, but I survived. That chapter is over. I'm writing a new one." Language rewires belief. Belief changes reality. If you want your brain to stop returning to the past, stop dragging the past into your daily vocabulary. Limit triggers that bring you back. Sometimes your brain is doing fine until a song plays, a photo appears, a place reminds you, or you recheck old messages just one more time. That one more time pulls you 100 steps backward. Don't reopen a wound that was trying to close. You don't need to delete everything, but give yourself time to stay away from old photos, places you visited with them, messages, gifts, and memories that don't help your healing. It's not weakness. It's called emotional recovery. Train your brain with new routines. Here's a secret. Your brain doesn't stop thinking about the past because you told it to. It stops when it's busy building something new. So give it something better to think about. Start small. Learn 5 English words a day. Take a 10-minute walk while listening to a podcast. Read 1 page of a book daily. Write 3 thoughts every night. Repeat this sentence each morning. Today is a new day. I choose peace. You are replacing the old loop with a new one that gives power, not pain. New routines equal new brain wiring, which equals a new life. There was a man who couldn't sleep for 2 years. Not because of work stress, not because of a disease, but because he kept replaying the moment his partner left him. Every night he went back to that day, he couldn't stop. One day his therapist told him, "You're not healing because you think pain is the only memory you have." She told him to do 3 things. 1. Say the sentence, "That was a moment. I am not that moment." 2. Write 1 positive sentence about the future every night. 3. Walk for 15 minutes every morning while repeating this, "I am no longer where I was. I am where I am." After 60 days, he could finally sleep again. Why? Because he trained his brain to stop replaying pain and start practicing presence. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who controls them. Your brain is powerful, but it is trainable. You don't have to believe every thought. You don't have to follow every memory. You don't have to stay stuck in a time that no longer exists. From today, you interrupt the loop. You label the thoughts. You ground yourself. You speak a new language. You build new routines. And you forgive your brain because it's just trying to protect you. But now, you protect yourself. Don't live in the past. That version of you doesn't need your attention anymore. The new version of you is waiting to be born. Train your brain to return to where your life is, happening here. Now, Lesson 5. Your past doesn't define you. Your next move does. Let's start with a truth that most people never hear enough in their life. You are not your past. You are not your failure. You are not your pain. You are not what they did to you. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. And yet you live like you are. Why? Because when something painful happens, a breakup, a betrayal, a loss, a failure, a moment of shame or embarrassment, it doesn't just end there. Your brain makes it part of your identity. You stop saying, "That happens to me," and you start saying, "That's who I am now." And that lie, it kills your future. Let me ask you a question. If a man fails one exam, is he a failure forever? If a woman goes through heartbreak once, is she unlovable forever? If a child makes a mistake, should we label them broken? Of course not. But we do it to ourselves. You say things like, "I'm not smart. I'm not confident anymore. I'm not good with people. I'm not lucky like others. I'm not lovable." But those are not facts. They're just scars. And scars are evidence of survival, not identity. If your past doesn't define you, then what does? Your next decision, your next sentence, your next move. Let me repeat that. You are not who you were. You are what you do next. Every time you try again, speak up, take responsibility, choose peace, show kindness, or say, "I'm not giving up today," you are writing a new story. And the past? That was just the first chapter, not the ending. Imagine a girl who spoke broken English. She was laughed at during a presentation. Her classmates joked about her accent. She cried, skipped school for 2 weeks, and told herself, "I'm just not meant to speak English." But one day, she picked up a mirror and said, "They don't decide who I am. My next move will." She started learning 5 words a day. She practiced sentences in the mirror. She made mistakes and kept going. And 1 year later, she gave a speech on stage in English flawlessly. The audience clapped, but she wasn't proud of the speech. She was proud of the next move she made after failure. It's not your past that is holding you back. It's the story you keep telling yourself about it. From today, don't repeat the story of your pain. Repeat the power of your choice. Say this out loud. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to become. The next sentence you speak, the next decision you make, the next brave step you take, that is who you are. Lesson 6. You were meant to be broken so you could build better. This may sound strange, but sometimes the worst thing that ever happened to you is actually the best thing that ever happened to your soul. Because pain doesn't just destroy, pain reveals. Think about it. A building that's weak inside needs to collapse before it can be rebuilt stronger. A seed must be broken before it grows. A muscle must be torn before it becomes powerful. So maybe you didn't break because you were weak. Maybe you broke because something stronger needed to be born inside you. Maybe life needed to show you who your real friends are, what really matters, how much strength you have, what you truly deserve, and who you were never meant to be, again. Pain is a mirror. It shows you who you are, and pain is a hammer. It shapes who you're becoming. Here's what people don't understand. If nothing had broken you, you would have continued living as someone who wasn't really you. You would have kept people who didn't deserve you. You would have stayed small, silent, scared. You would have accepted a version of life that was never meant for your greatness. But the pain, it shattered that version. And now you're free to build something real. Instead of saying, "Why did this happen to me?" say, "This happened for a reason. Maybe I don't see it now, but it's shaping me into something greater." You don't need to be thankful for pain, but you can be thankful for what pain taught you. The old version of you wasn't ready for the life you truly deserve. The broken moment forced you to grow into someone who is. There was a boy who was bullied for years. He was shy, insecure, and soft-spoken. One day, he was publicly insulted by a teacher, and the whole class laughed. He went home and cried for hours. He decided to never speak in public again. But later, when he grew up, he became a motivational speaker. Why? Because that pain gave him a mission. I never want anyone to feel small like I did. So I'll teach people how to speak, how to rise, and how to fight back. He used the same pain that broke him to build a platform that changed thousands of lives. That's not weakness. That's transformation. Let me give you a short guide. Accept that you were broken. Don't deny it. Forgive yourself for not being strong back then. Look for what the pain taught you: truth, clarity, boundaries, and values. Start something new, a habit, a mission, or a practice. Tell yourself, this time I'm building with bricks of truth, not illusion. The past version of you built a house of glass. Now you're building with steel. You didn't break because you were weak. You broke because it was time to build something stronger. From today, wear your pain like armor, not chains. Use your cracks as light, not wounds. Tell your story not with shame, but with power. Say this with me: I was broken, but I broke open, and I will build something so powerful, even I won't recognize it yet. You're not done. You're just getting started. Lesson 7. Stop asking, "Why me?" Start asking, "What now?" Why did they leave me? Why did this happen to me? Why do I always get hurt? Why don't I ever win? Why does it work for others but not for me? Why is my life like this? If you've ever asked any of these, you're human, because pain always comes with questions. And the most dangerous one is, why me? It sounds like a search for understanding, but most of the time it's actually a cage. Why me? Is the question that keeps you stuck in the storm while the sun is already rising outside. Let's now break this pattern. When you keep asking, "Why me?" your mind starts looking for someone to blame. Your emotions become trapped in self-pity. You start feeling like a victim of life. You tell yourself, "Life is unfair. There's no point trying." This creates a loop. You feel powerless. You stop trying. Life gets worse. You ask, "Why me again?" The more you ask it, the smaller you feel, the more bitter you become, and the longer you stay broken. But there's a better question, a life-changing one, a powerful one, a question that turns pain into action. What now? Why me looks backward. What now looks forward. Why me creates blame. What now creates responsibility. Why me keeps you stuck. What now moves you forward. Imagine a strong bridge connecting two cities. Thousands of people cross it every day. One day, there's a powerful storm. The bridge collapses. Now one side is completely cut off. No one can cross. Supplies stop. Trade ends. And panic begins. For days, the people on both sides keep asking, "Why did this happen to us? Why this bridge? Why now?" they argue. They blame the builders. They write angry articles. They talk and talk and talk. But the bridge remains broken. Then, one day, someone asks, "What now?" That one question changes everything. Instead of complaining, they start gathering materials, building boats to carry people temporarily, sending out teams to rebuild the bridge, installing safety checks, and improving the new design so it won't collapse again. Within weeks, a stronger bridge is built, better than before, faster, more beautiful, and more prepared. The storm didn't stop them. The question did, until they changed it. You are the same. Your life was that bridge. The storm came. It broke everything. But you stayed stuck in "why me?" Today is the day you stop. Let's say you've been heartbroken, rejected, or hurt. Instead of "why did they hurt me?" ask, "What now? What can I learn from this?" Instead of "why did I fail again?" ask, "What now? How do I improve next time?" Instead of "why is life so unfair to me?" ask, "What now? How can I protect my peace and rise again?" What now is not just a question, it's a command to your brain. It tells your mind, we are not staying here anymore. Let's get up. Let's move forward. Let's build something new. Say this out loud right now. I don't need to understand why everything happened. I just need to choose what to do now. You don't need a perfect explanation. You need a next step. And once you take it, you start healing faster than you ever thought possible. Lesson 8. Build a powerful vision for your new life. Let me ask you something. If I take away your pain, if I erase your past, if I give you peace, then what? What will you do? What life will you create? Because here's the truth most people don't realize. Healing is not the final goal. Creating something beautiful after healing, that's the real transformation. So now it's time to stop focusing on what broke you and start focusing on what you're going to build next. They stop crying, but they don't start dreaming. They stop overthinking, but they don't start planning. They stop blaming the past, but they don't start building the future. They sit in the silence, but forget to ask, what kind of life do I want now? And so they go in circles. Peaceful but empty. Calm but directionless. But not you. Not after this. You're going to design a new vision so powerful your past won't even recognize who you've become. It's not just a goal. It's a clear image of the life you want to create. It includes the kind of person you want to become, the kind of relationships you want to have, the kind of energy you want to carry, the kind of peace, success, health, and impact you want to build. It's a mental picture you wake up for, a picture so beautiful you stop looking backward. Imagine a field full of broken glass. It used to be a beautiful garden, but a fire destroyed everything. Now all that's left is ashes and pain. Most people sit in the ashes. They cry. They ask why. They stay there. But one day, someone takes a shovel and begins clearing the glass. They bring new soil. They plant seeds. They water the ground every day. They clean the air. They add color, light, music. Months later, the field becomes a new garden, more vibrant than before. And no one would believe it was once a burned mess. That's your life. You have ashes. You have pain. But you also have seeds. If you start planting them now, your future will look nothing like your past. Here's a simple exercise. Take out a notebook or open your notes and answer. What kind of person do I want to become? confident, calm, brave, fluent in English, emotionally strong. What kind of peace do I want in my daily life? Less drama, more silence, freedom from anxiety, gentle routines. What do I want to build next? A new habit, a small business, a body transformation, a better relationship with myself. Write the answers. Look at them daily. Visualize them like they're already happening, and take one step every day toward them. You cannot create a better future while still holding the blueprints of a broken past. Tear up the old map. Design a new one. Say this with me. I am no longer focused on what hurt me. I am focused on what I will create next. Your life is not just something to survive. It's something to design, to build, to love, to live fully. And from today, that's exactly what you will do. Lesson 9. You don't need closure. You need courage. We all wait for it. That one last message, that apology, that explanation, that moment where everything makes sense. We think if they just told me why, if I could just ask them one more time, if they gave me closure, I'd finally move on. But here's the truth. You don't need closure. You need courage. Because sometimes the apology will never come. The answer will never make sense. The story will never be finished. The person will never explain. And if you wait for them, you will waste years of your life standing at a closed door waiting for it to open. We think closure is something they give us, but real closure is something we give ourselves. It's the moment you decide, I don't need an answer to grow. I don't need their sorry to feel peace. I don't need them to heal. I choose to heal. That is real power, because we're emotional humans. We want things to make sense. We want to feel seen. We want to know why we weren't enough, why they lied, why it ended, why it failed, why they hurt us if they once loved us. But let me ask you something. If they came and explained everything, would it undo the pain? Would it give you your time back? Would it return your lost peace? No. What brings peace is not their explanation. It's your decision to move forward. Courage is not loud. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes courage is getting out of bed even when your heart is heavy. Smiling at the mirror when you feel like crying. Saying, I deserve better. Even when you're alone, walking away from a person who still has your heart. Choosing peace over answers. Say this with me. I don't need closure. I just need the courage to walk forward, even if I never hear sorry. Because peace is not given. Peace is claimed. If they didn't give you closure, maybe that's the closure. If they walked away, let that be the answer. If they didn't value you, let that teach you how to value yourself. And if they come back one day, you won't need their explanation anymore, because you've already walked far beyond their reach. If this video touched you, if it helped you heal, if you feel just a little bit lighter, stronger, clearer, then subscribe to this channel. Not because I asked, but because you deserve to keep growing. You deserve to stay in a space where your pain is understood and your power is built. This channel is not just about English. It's about becoming the version of yourself you were always meant to be. So subscribe and let's walk this journey together. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, don't cry for yesterday. Build something beautiful for tomorrow. Take care of your heart, take care of your mind, and never, ever forget your worth.